Hey everyone, my name is Angie and I am a twin flame in separation. I've been in separation for approximately 13 years, almost no contact. It's been a journey to say the least. I started this new channel because my old channel got compromised and I had evil eye projected at it. My views went from thousands to in the tens. So here I am starting again, and I feel like the readings that I was offering like 8 years ago were extremely valuable information. So I want to go back to that, which is channeling my spirit guides who have a lot of information on the twin flame topic and other things too, like ascension and things like that. But they like to focus on twin flame topic mostly because, I don't know, reasons, you know, it's their forte and stuff. So I like to use tarot cards a lot. You'll see I do use other tools as well. I do automatic writing, I do channeling directly and stuff, but for now I'm just going to talk first person and filter in information that my guides give me. You might notice that I kind of look to the side to confer with my guides. Sometimes it seems like they're sitting right here. Sometimes it's like I'm talking up because I'm talking to more of a collective type energy. Just giving you guys a little heads up. So right now I'm using Natalie, what the frick is her name? She changed her name, so Polaris I think right now. But anyways, the Mood Tarot deck. And basically she kind of like memed it up on these cards. They're pretty cool. This card is telling me that there needs to be a change in the way that things are done. And I would go so far as to say the way they're done in the twin flame community. A lot of focus is on these readings are like, how do they feel about me and stuff like that. And my view has always been to not really focus on them, because is it working? Like if you're watching this right now, are you in union with your twin flame? Probably not, right? Now you might say, well, neither are you, and boy are you right. But here's the thing. Strangely enough, I'm quite content in my separation, and I have been for the most part the whole time. Now there has definitely been bouts of that where I was going through some purging and stuff, and I did plant medicine about it and some other things too. But truth be told, I've had many chances to reach out to this guy and talk to him, and he has backstabbed me on multiple occasions as well. So to be honest, do I even really want that? But try as I might to move on spiritually speaking. What I mean by that is petitioning to be released of the contract and for a new twin flame or something, you know. They, whoever that may be, you know, powers that be, don't fucking let it happen. Sorry, I'm not supposed to cuss, am I? Oops, I forgot. I do cuss. I'll try not to, because I think YouTube doesn't like it or something, and that could be contributing to why my other channel had less visibility as well. Also, because I was like showing nudity, like on tarot cards. I don't understand what the deal is with YouTube, but I'm not even going to get into that. The stuff they show our kids is garbage. If you guys have kids, you know what I'm talking about, that brain rot. So anyways, oh, my favorite card. Do you guys have particular signs that are like what I would call inside jokes between you and your twin flame? This one says, I love mom, when it's reversed. And this one is, I hate mom. And it's funny. Question for you guys, for you DFs out there, you divine feminines. Let's first of all stop calling the guys the divine masculine, because the divine masculine is their higher self. The ones that we channel, the ones that we tapped into intuitively, telepathically, and all that. Let's call them the LM, the lower masculine. I don't know, something. But regardless, this particular card is a sign for my union, if you'd call it that. It's just easier terminology. But anyways, because, or let's say my connection. When things were more amicable and conversational, if you will, is because I was using Galaxy Tarot app on my phone, and I picked a random card, and this happened to be the card, and it was in the reverse position. So it's just kind of an inside joke between the fact that I'm sure that he remembers this card, like it's etched in his third eye memory, if you will. Like anytime you would see the card exactly like this, it would be like, ugh, because I held it up just like that, you know. Anyways, here's a few things I want to say to you guys about your twin flame situations. One of the main questions that is asked a lot is, should I tell my twin flame, you know, the runner, the masculine energy, whatever you guys want to call it, should I tell them about the topic of twin flames? I say go ahead. What's the worst it can do? Push them away? Well, then they were going to run away anyway. If they've already run away and you send it to them and they didn't know, maybe them reading it will be helpful. But here's the thing you got to understand is the way the twin flame stuff is set up currently, with the runner chaser dynamic as being one of the stages, that's only out there because it's a common stage, not because it's like supposed to be. You don't even know how many readings I've done where somebody goes, well, you know, I know this is part of the thing, and everybody goes through it. No, they don't have to, and some don't. Most twin flames out there don't even acknowledge the label, don't even believe in it, because they're either really high level soulmates, which is, in my opinion, way easier and better, or they are twin flames, but they just worked through their crap or whatever. Maybe they were already healed when they met each other. You know, there's multiple reasons for why, but I'll tell you, I'm just saying, like, I think that, I know that the runner chaser label, or stage, I mean, gives them the excuse of saying, well, this is what twin flames do, so I'm going to do it, and I'm going to do it up, and well, you know, one day I'll come back. But do they? I don't know. Not in my case. What about you guys? I don't think you'd be watching this if so. So this is indication of, you know, this is like somebody being like emotionally distancing. And this, in my opinion, is, in this context, lingering and just freaking stalking on your social media. You guys can feel it, right? You can feel when they're like looking at your stuff. You don't have any proof, but look at that. This is our psychic intuition of they are spying on us card. So what does that tell you? That it's not spying if you know. Whew, that scared me.
I don't want it.
Okay, you're making a mess, dude. So this is what I would say regarding the topic is cut them off. Close down your social media. I know what you're thinking. Well, if no, okay, let me caveat this. Don't block them, because that's childish and petty. But because some of you guys do that. You know, I see it in the readings all the time, where you guys will say that. You'll be like, oh, you know, I blocked them because why? What are you trying to accomplish? Getting their attention, trying to get them to work to get you, which is great in theory, to be honest. However, your method of doing it is very beat around the bush and direct. My opinion is be direct. So, you know, this is like, call them out on it. You guys are way more telepathic than you know. I could tell you some things you guys would be, your mind would be blown if you knew. Now, this is my card that represents, in this deck at least, the third party shit. Oops, I forgot, I'm not supposed to swear. So, I have this to mean third party in general, whatever that may be, because we all know, though it can, or though it usually is a person, sometimes it's a situation, or a mom. It could be a mom, you know, mama's boy stuff. The problem with current generation of these F-boys is what I would call them. By the way, if that card comes up, I'll explain that one. But anyways, you gotta understand, I'm a female. My TF is a male, so I come from that lens. My main spirit guide, who is, I guess, label-wise the higher self of my twin flame, is a male also. My higher self is a female. See, all these things I'm saying aren't necessarily the case for everybody. Some of you guys might be a female with a male higher self, and vice versa. This is a contribution for gender identity issues. But beside the point, long story short is there's a lot of outdated beliefs, and the third party stuff. Let's say they're addicted to going to the gym, or they're addicted to social media or corn, as PC term says it, or work, or, you know, like going out and clubbing, video games. Did I say that one already? You know, being a gamer, all the things. There's so many things that this card would represent. So let's get back to, ooh, hi birdie. So pretty. It's a blue jay. It's one of my signs. It's so annoying. Anyways, when this card comes up reversed, I actually like it because to me this represents an imbalance with, because I was going to say church, between the church and spirituality, and how, in my opinion, the church isn't really doing enough to help people, and in my opinion they're just hoarding money. So when it's reversed, I like it because it's kind of implying that it's a emphasis on the spiritual connection as opposed to what a book, you know, a religious text might say. It's like going within. Though it's not the Hermit card, it symbolizes that idea. Okay, this card in general is like being defensive but having the advantage. But when it's reversed, I would say these guys, and I mean that in the masculine sense, the runner sense, take it how it applies to your situation, they're in for a rude wake-up call if I have my way. If you guys listen to what I say and you apply the information that I'm telling you, I've seen it many times over the years in my readings that if people apply the information that I give them, it works in their favor in so many ways. I don't just do TF readings. I also do career and whatever, health, all the things. So I got some claim to fames in my situations, but yet no union. Isn't that funny? So I ended up finding a soulmate. The child that ran out here is a product of said relationship. Honestly, there was a whole lot of drama and stuff going on in my life at the time, and when we met, it felt very synchronistic. We actually have the same birthday. He, I, and our child, all three have the same birthday. So all things considered, I definitely did a lot of reflecting on it before just diving in. You know, it wasn't like something I decided on a whim. Also, this guy, who's not a high-level soulmate, by the way, you know, in my opinion, he's just a run-of-the-mill type. But not to say he can't. He's definitely improved over the years. I mean, by a long shot. You have no idea how far he's come. If you guys are sick of your TF situation and you feel like union is futile, petition up to the sky and say, can you send me a new guy? Because at this point, unless you know something I don't know, it seems to me this is never going to happen. Wouldn't you agree, some of you out there, if you're like me? How many years has it been for you? So if you're sick of this and you want to get to the other side, who knows? Maybe they just need to think that you're moving on, and then they'll come around. But do you even really want them if that's the case? No, I wouldn't say. So you guys, this is my card for redistribution of the wealth, because at this point, like with the Five of Pentacles card, I don't know how well you guys know tarot, but visually this is why I like these cards, is because you can kind of get a gauge for it. But anyways, I like how it's so connected to the Justice card, because the Justice card implies that karmically speaking, there will be fairness. Currently, not the case. So I would like to see a restoration of such. Because, let me ask you guys a question. How many times do you get inspired to do something and then you don't follow through? Speaking for myself, I do it all the time. I've been inspired to start this new channel for a long, long time, but something kept me back from doing it. And when I say something, I kind of mean like roadblocks. You know, like every time I went to do it, it just wasn't really working, lining up, whatever. In fact, I did start a new channel, but it was kind of focused on not twin flame stuff, but planetary ascension type stuff. So here I am doing it again. Yeet. This generally represents rapido communication, perhaps written, email, text, even phone call. This could be because at the time when these cards were made, that kind of technology wasn't a thing. So now that's what this represents. It also can be arrows of love. Again, as I said before, if you guys want to petition for a new TF, I highly suggest you do it daily. I surely do. Not a new one per se, but to be released. That's actually more pure. Say, you know, I want to be released from this prior to saying I want a new one. Otherwise, it kind of shows codependency, and it kind of shows that you're not really healed and moved on, and you're wanting a relationship, which that's not what the TF stuff is about. Wish fulfillment card is actually in reference to, first of all, this can be working on your inner child and bringing that out. What did you want to do when you were a kid? What did you want to be when you grew up? Kind of vibe, but we're talking mission. Like, what did you come here to do this life? Do you even know? Is it something that you could say, like, yeah, I do know? Or did you come here to just be what my guides call a slave planet, because of the way it's set up with the consumerism and how it's just, you know, you guys should know, if you know, that if you're on a spiritual vibe, my vibe is barter system, trading. So if any of you guys offer services and you want to do a trade with me, I'm down for that, because that's how I feel the world should work. Is I have something to offer, you have something to offer, and it's of mutual interest to both of us. So that's how I would run the world. And I came here to do conscious eco communities. So what does conscious mean? I think you guys know if you're on a spiritual vibe. It's not just, you know, like a prepper type thing. It's like a whole different vibe. It's like purposely spiritual vibe people who come together in order to get away from the rat race, I would say. Focused around community, village mentality of everybody coming together and chipping in, as opposed to what we're currently doing with that 10 of Wands card. So, manifestation also needs to be reframed. We think too small, for one, when we manifest. Two, I don't think we're manifesting properly. When I say we, I mean The Secret. Does it work for you? Have you ever heard of it? Have you tried it? If The Secret worked for you, I'd love to know. Maybe it worked in some ways, but has it worked in all the ways? You know, has it gotten you your union? From my understanding, unions are held back. Why? Because we're held back until the planet is the way it should be. It's almost like it's a reward to get in your union. But also there's the karmic aspect. I mean, if you believe in past lives and stuff, they do affect the current. So you can be ready all day. And here's another common misconception, is that people think, oh, well, you know, or they're even told this, oh, you know, you got to heal more. The problem is you're the reason. If you do the work and you do the healing, for the love of God, you're probably healed enough. And I feel like that is like spiritual victim shaming or something, you know, like, ugh, please give me a break. You can't do enough healing in this world yet. Can you? Like, there comes a day when you're like, I think I'm healed enough, and now it's up to them to do it. And so what you do is you focus on what you came here to do, and you go inward, focus on your own stuff. I know nobody wants to hear this, so it's probably not going to go far as my advice goes, but assuming it does, we have the Chariot, which is your Merkaba. Let me tell you guys something really cool. How many of you work in the astral? Because if you don't, you should. How about this? How many of you guys have dreams that you remember? Are you writing them down? You really should. You're going to start getting dreams with your TF in them, and you're going to be able to tell them about stuff in the dream. It'll tattle on them about how they're doing in their life and stuff like that. Also, check this out. You can have combined dreams with them. If they're really your twin flame, you and they will have dreams where you're both in them. Now, when I say combined, there's two ways it can be combined. You can actually be within one consciousness, just like if you're channeling their higher self, Their higher self, though, is a future version of them, more evolved by a long shot. That's the DM aspect. That's why the channeled version of them, the telepathic bond, doesn't match the real life version of them. But beside the point, check this out. You can most definitely have dreams where you're like, there was this particular dream that I astral traveled to, and he was in the back seat of a car, his brother was in the passenger seat, and I was in the front seat. I wouldn't be surprised if they both had the same dream where they were in those perspective positions. And there's other ones like that too. Now, whether they remember them or not is another story. But if you have a dream with a whole bunch of people in them and a whole bunch of people remember it, imagine the power of that. That means it's not all in your head like science says. You know, science doesn't know crap about anything. They don't merge the spiritual. That's the whole problem with separation of church and state, is the state being the state of the world, the church being the spirituality, needs to be merged in that sort of way. Not from a organized religion aspect, though. Because this is our planet. We need to make it right. There's another planet that we astral travel to. It's actually called Planet as a joke because we on Earth call this place Earth, which is very basic. So as a joke, they're like, what can we call this place that's just as like equal energy to Earth? They said Planet. However, it is now called K2. So it is spelled Ketu, but you can call it K2 for short. And we astral travel to that planet. We record dreams there. So you meet up with your soul fam there and stuff. Do you know you can work out karma in your dreams? You don't have to work it out during the day. You could also work it out in meditation. We could talk more on that later. That's a big topic. Also, DMs and DFs, the connection you guys have being telepathic is actually way stronger than you know. If your DM is as intuitive as they should be, as intuitive as they are in the future, they can actually tap into, you guys can tap into each other's thoughts telepathically. Like, verified information here, when we were first like getting to know each other, we were in tune with each other telepathically. And even before we ever met, even. I mean, this is craziness. There's this thing called drop in consciousness. So that's a concept that is a lot to talk about too. So I don't want to dwell on that one either. But if you guys have any specific questions, I can make a whole video about each of these cards as far as what I'm bringing up regarding them. Now, love to see this card reversed. Mental prison. Being that it's reversed means that there's a change in the mentality, which is great, because why? This is how the masculines are at present. They're like, oh, well, you know, this is a lot of them say stuff like, I don't feel like I deserve them, you know, they'll feel intimidated, all sorts of things. It's silly to me. Isn't it silly, you guys? We're just human, right? Well, they're sitting here basically like settling with third-party situations and stuff over us when we have a finite amount of time on this world, and they're you know, away. And it's like, what are you doing? So this represents a human connection. Two humans coming together mutually, not a union per se. In a good sense, it could be, you know, that, like, let's say when they initially meet and everything. But it could also represent a man-made contract. It depends on the context, and it depends on whatever. But Hyros Gamos is what it's called on the higher. It's a Greek word for spiritual. Sometimes you guys will say kingdom spouse, which I like also. But it's the bond between the two twin flames on the higher. So, for example, my higher self and my twin flame's higher self are married and have a child who is about the age of toddler, because time is accelerated where they are in the future compared to us. And so it's approximately 1 year per 10 years for them. So if I'm in my 40s, which I am, that would be approximately, you know, going on year 4 as far as how long he has been working with me. I say approximately because if they work with us really, really in depth, then it's like 1-to-1. So for him, it's like 43 years. But beside the point, within that, there's also going within the astral and doing stuff there too. So really, really long. Astral projection is definitely the way to go. I'm going to tell you guys, it's going to be crazy. If you guys believe in ET contact, if you believe in open contact, you know, in general and stuff like that, astral projection is the way to get it to work, because I think the twin flame dynamic as it is presented right now, look, they're never going to frickin' come in at this rate. So what do? We got to upgrade, and we got to call in what is it that we really, really want, which is, honestly, so let me tell you guys this is interesting. Because of my bond with my guide is so strong, my higher self and him are kind of no longer together in a Hyros Gamos aspect. In fact, it has now been reassigned to me. Strange, right? Well, maybe not to me, but maybe to others, that I have a telepathic bond with a future version of my twin flame from another incarnation that we evolved together to the future. I know it probably sounds really out there, but if you can follow along, now him guiding me in this incarnation, we've gotten so close telepathically that we are both petitioning to meet each other tangibly in Earth. Like, if there's open contact, he could, in essence, come off of the ship and we could shake hands, so to speak, with density. Now, they are in light bodies, but they have density dials. A lot of information, you guys, I know. Sorry. Throwing a lot out at you guys at once, and whatever you guys want to know more about, believe me, I can go on for hours and hours, and or I can channel my guides, but I'm speaking first person human perspective from the information that I've gathered over the freaking how many years, my whole life really, because I started astral projection when I was a kid, so I just didn't really know that was called that, and I started my telepathic communication with my guide when I was about 4. So yeah, this card kind of represents the state of the world, the wars going on. I mean, I could tell you guys some stuff about the wars and about a lot of topics that could be verified. Maybe not through the internet, but actually I have one that could be verified, so much so proof that it would probably put me on the map as a famous psychic, which I'm kind of considering doing, but I don't know, you guys, I don't know. It's not because I want that heat on me, if you will, the fame. It's because I want to get the message out there that I want to get out there. I'm quite content in my financial situation. This planet is very loud. I don't like that, by the way. Planet, you know, K2, not so loud, which I appreciate. Also, the inhabitants of K2 are light body in that they have the dial of density. So there's a lot of concepts that we would need to discuss if going forward. I'm gonna wrap it up here because clearly my kid's out here now. But
I've had enough of Kiki.
You've had enough of Kiki. Oh, okay. I will say, if you're a parent, we need to raise these children, particularly the boys, to be a little bit more empathetic, I think would be the right word, because right now I would say that that's not the case. I was going to wrap it up because he came out here. Like earlier, he was coming out here and he was just kind of like lingering and making noise and stuff. So I thought that was going to be the case again. But I'll keep going until, you know, otherwise. So you might notice, you know, I'm not doing a reading that's like, oh, so this is what your twin flame is thinking or whatever. You know why? Because that's where this has gotten us, is the Ten of Swords. Nowhere. Effing nowhere. So what are we going to do instead? Well, if you focus only on prosperity, I can promise you it's a dead end as well. So if you focus on winning in some sort of way, like, honestly, I've waited so long. I've waited like 8 years to do twin flame readings because I found out that his wife was watching my YouTube videos in order to get dirt on me and use it against me. So I was just like, you know what, I'm not in the mood for that. So I I don't know if I completely stopped making videos, but I definitely switched to just be general reading. And then my visibility went down. Like, people weren't interested in general readings. Therefore, people might not be interested in this. But I think I should do it anyway. You know why? Because a lot of people are, I wouldn't say so much blocked intuition, but they're relying on other people. My job is to empower people to go within and get their own wisdom for their own connection, because every twin flame connection is different. So this right here is like asking other people for advice or asking other people what they think or whatever. Like, I'll tell you what I think, but ultimately it has to vibe with you. Otherwise, I'm just telling you stuff. And I wouldn't view your divine masculines as divine unless they really are. I mean, if they are, good, I'm happy. What's the secret? Because at this point, they really need a wake-up call. And who's going to do it? You guys are. What would they think if there was open contact and ETs came to the earth and landed and whatever and had conversations with them? I bet they'd all of a sudden be like, oh, well, guess what? The ETs would be like, no, you didn't do what you were supposed to do. We're only going to exonerate those who have been following us. And that is you divine feminines. So do you guys want to have your cake and eat it too? Do you guys know what that means? It means you have two cakes. You have a cake that you eat, and you have a cake that stays pretty. I don't know if people know that, but what that can mean is if you have a TF who's not cooperating, doesn't want to be with you, isn't playing right, you know, whatever, petition to have a high-level soulmate come in. There aren't two twin flames. If you guys say, oh yeah, I have another twin flame, it's not. Twin flames are not at all replaceable, at least not yet. Trust me. If mine could be replaced, it would have been so. So, however, you can be sent any old soulmate. I wouldn't settle for any old, but I will say, karmically speaking, there will be lessons if you do choose to partner up with somebody who is has karma to work through or whatever. Sure, you know, but we're not a charity case. I say, I'm glad that I did. I needed to, but in hindsight, I probably would have, you know, this might be considered like a hindsight card in that respect. I probably wouldn't have. So, but in my situation, I really, really needed to, and some of you guys are in that place too. Do not think that you cannot date while you are in separation from your twin flame. There's some readers out there who will say it'll like hold back things. I mean, maybe, but guess what? That means that they weren't ready yet. Let me ask you a question. Do you guys know that your guides have emotions, and sometimes you'll, if you're intuitive enough, you will telepathically pick up on their purging and emotional releasing and all that kind of stuff, and you will process for them sometimes? Like, it's a thing. I'm not even kidding. So sometimes some of you, when I get readings, I have this one particular client who will say to me, every time she calls, it almost kind of brings my vibe down, and I have to kind of like boost myself up, because every time I see a reading come in from her, I'm like, oh God, here we go. Because she tells me every time, oh, Angie, I've been crying. All I do is cry. My life sucks, da 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 da. Well, guess what's probably happening is, though she's intuitive, I give her advice. She even tells me she gets intuitive advice, but she doesn't take it. So I'm like, take the advice. She always has excuses. Oh, well, you know, my back hurts and da-da-da-da-da, you know, for certain things. Like, for example, she has a weight issue. I'm like, go on walks. I can't. My back hurts. Okay. What do you want me to do? You know, there's no magic cure for that in that regard. So, truth bomb is, I don't know how to help you other than I guess you just need to vent. I can do that. But reality speaking is, you guys have to actually take your intuitive thoughts and then make choices and decide things, take action based on the intuition. Because sometimes you guys need towers in your life to get you to remember that, you know, we're all just here until we're not. Life is too short to be sitting here playing small and not remembering why we came here. Like, we all have a blueprint and soul remembrance of a mission. If you don't know what your mission is, you really got to tap back in. You guys hear the wind? I don't know if you hear it, but it is. It's really kicking. Often when I do these readings, it's so. If you guys want to see other content that I have another channel. I have a fitness channel. I have a channel that's meant to be for when there's open contact and or when I get publicity, because I meant to do a lot of things, but that's future related. I mean, I'm gonna keep pushing. Maybe this will have more traction, but regardless, my mission went from eco communities to now a whole bunch of stuff. This can signify blocked intuition. So being reversed, I would say, you know, you guys are way more intuitive than you know. Let me tell you about this card. This is a fun one. This is, in this context, knowing the secrets of the universe and applying them in what I call a cheat code way. Cheat codes are like understanding all the things. Like things I haven't even told you guys yet about futuristic quantum galactic AI, about how the sun works, you know, our sun, how the concept of the control room, about I forget. There's the Bardo state. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of the Tibetan Book of the Dead, but and I don't know if you guys know about light language, about how hieroglyphics and sigils work, and about text that, you know, God, you guys, just so much. This is traditional organized religion. It is so outdated and keeping us all disempowered. This guy's feet are on the box. The keys are right there, but he's guarding it. And these two guys are oblivious to the fact that all the answers are contained within the box, but he's guarding it and keeping it, gatekeeping it. So you guys are hard at work doing your daily 9-to-5 grind, but really what needs to happen is we need to bring a love vibe back to this planet, because with the wars going on, it's showing you that our planet is devolved and devolving. How do you know you're living on a devolved planet? Because there's war going on. Now, we've always had conflict in the Middle East. That's an understatement. But how many of you guys were, I don't know about you, I was really shocked when the Ukraine and Russia war started. I was like, what is going on? Why is it the year, whatever the frick it was, a couple years ago, and there's a war? Why? It baffled me. I couldn't believe it. I came here in the 80s to witness flying cars in my adulthood, and where are we with that? No flying cars. Do you guys see flying cars? I don't see flying cars. I want flying cars. I at least want self-driving cars. Can we start with that? Can we have mass transit, not just maybe in the US, but across the whole world? Like we can go, like what Elon Musk is trying to do. A lot of you guys in the spiritual community poo-poo Trump, poo-poo Elon Musk. I say, why don't we get them on board? There's strength in numbers, and I feel like there's a lot of us spiritual people. If we would just come together and unite for a common goal, that could be a mission in and of itself. So first, going within, finding out, what do you truly believe? Not going along with what everybody else is saying and doing. You know, boo, we don't like doing that, right? No, we have our own opinions on things. Now, they are subject to change. I could always change my opinion tomorrow. I do, often. Even last year, I thought things, even 6 months ago, even a month ago, even, I don't know. I thought things that I have changed. But guess what? The reason for that is because I'm constantly reevaluating and evolving my opinions on things. We only got a couple more cards. So, having said that, this is my F-boy card. It's like, this is the wrong focus, you guys. Now, not to say don't use that if you can and want to. By all means, please do. In fact, it could be great motivation. You can get a lot accomplished when you're motivated, right? Well, see it for what it is, though. And don't get caught up in the emotions of it unless you need to purge or whatever. You know, start talking to your guides. We're told, or rather, there's like a stigma against talking out loud to yourself. It's viewed as like crazy. Like if I were to be like, hey guys, what's up? Nobody's there, that's schizophrenic. But if somebody's sitting there and I'm like, hey guys, what's up? It's not. What's the difference between the fact that there could be a physical density of human presence versus a telepathic presence of my guides approximately at 1,000 years in the future, where they have density, but we're connected and they're in the 5D and we're in the 3D. So there's the overlap of the 5D and the 3D. Hey guys, what's up? It's telepathic. It's not fucking schizophrenic. Sorry, forgot I'm not supposed to cuss. Anyways, future speaking, they want us all to be telepathic. They want us all to be channeling. They want us all to be this and this and this. It's great. Automatic writing, light language. How many of you guys are doing these things? If not, it's high time to start. Why? If you do want your union, they'll dangle it in front of you on, like a carrot on a stick to try to get you to do so. All right, this is a card deck I created with my handle, New Path Tarot. It's called Space Eyes Oracle. And this is my card for source. So I have on here universe, creator, God, goddess, Allah, Yahweh, the Tao, Father, Sky, the beginning and the end, all that is, and coexist, just to cover all my bases, because what I want to encompass, source, is literally everything of everything. But guess what? Because of oneness, we are all one. So what does that mean, you guys? It means that spiral upwards, continual learning, constant improvement, leveling up, and forever a student. Just to be we're all one is a little too vague and doesn't encompass our true essence here in 3D density. So plant medicine is a good bridge. If any of you guys have questions about that, please feel free to ask. I have a lot of info on that topic. Now, Puppet Master, you know, this is something that my TF and I discussed at once. At one point, I had brought up to the point of us, or we discussed the point of like feeling like we're pawns in some kind of a chess game kind of thing, you know. And this Puppet Master card, however, empowers you, because it says make it happen, do whatever it takes, take action now, it's in your hands. So instead of being a pawn that's like unconsciously being used, you consciously take your power back and you make decisions toward your union or whatever. The wall, hitting blocks, glass ceiling, plateau, being blocked. This happens a lot with you guys and with readers. Readers who stay in the same kind of niche don't go past their glass ceiling. So there's a constant reassessment that needs to happen. Often I am a reader for readers. Like I attract people who are more spiritually advanced, generally speaking. In my opinion, DFs are spiritually advanced. I don't know how many the ratio of DFs to regular humans walking around the earth are, but I would say that we're a commodity. So Terra, or Tara, earthing, connection to Gaia, and grounding. But staying grounded is key. I think you guys would agree I'm pretty grounded, yet the information that I have access to and the way I would speak about it, headspace, might seem that I am, you know, on another planet, so to speak. Well, I kind of am, if you will, because of how much I am tapped into the 5D and planet, aka K2. So stay centered and grounded. Take it slow. Control emotions. Stay present. There's some of the meanings of that card in this context. Okay, invisible thread. Soul family, divine counterparts, karmic soul contracts, past life connection, an unexplainable bond and connection beyond words. That's what you guys would describe soul level connections, right? Soul fam. Some of you guys might feel that with me, because I've heard it a lot when I used to have thousands of views on my other channel, and I met a few people in person and they were like, I know you. And then they'd be like, wait, I know you from YouTube. And it happened a couple times and I was kind of like, wow, okay, that's cool. Like, people out in the world were watching my YouTube and I met them in real life and they were like, I feel like I know you. You know, it's kind of cool in that way. Anyways, fish out of water. Honoring self over others, having healthy boundaries, taking time alone, and not conforming. Ooh, that's a big one, you guys. That's a huge one. Honoring self over others. Faux show, faux show. So, stones. Healing with crystals, charging in moonlight, metaphysical properties, spiritual characteristics, and gemstone elixirs. Do you guys like crystals? Because I know I do. They're fun. Stop in the name of love. Stop, stand still, pause, non-action, and wait. But in my opinion, don't, because it's reversed. Ask a question, any question, everyone. Let's see if I can answer it for the entire collective. Go ahead. I'll give you a second. Got your question? Here's your answer. Meditation reversed. Multi-dimensional conduit, accessing Akashic records and declutter the mind. It tells me that if you want the answer to that question, this is what you need to do. You need to meditate about it. So, do you know how to access your Akashic records? I could teach you. Do you know how to access the multi-dimensional conduit? It's easy. You tap in telepathically to the higher self of your twin flame. That's honestly, if you've met them, the easiest way you can do it. Awareness, awakening past lives and future lives. To do a past life regression, that helps too. I have recorded hypnosis sessions that I did when I was learning QHHT. That is a hypnosis technique. I also have other hypnosis training as well, but that's the one I referenced the most because it was the most transformational for me at that point in my life in 2020. Enlightenment, nirvana, moksha, liberation, and freedom. Do you guys know how easy it is to attain enlightenment? I am enlightened. You might be too. You just don't know it because the monks sit here and meditate all day. They meditate to clear their mind. Is that working for them? Are any of them getting enlightened? In fact, they're told, their philosophy is, none of you guys are going to get enlightened in this lifetime. How limiting. I had a past life that I was a monk. I didn't get enlightened. I got my head chopped off. But hey, whatever. The point is that I learned a lot from that lifetime in order to apply to this lifetime. Like it's like an imprint of me being able to access that lifetime. So it wasn't a waste. And if other monks can do that, it won't be a waste for them. But my point is, you can be enlightened this lifetime. Why wait till the next one? This is the one that counts. You're here, so use it. Soul, sun gazing, sun connection, eclipses season. I gotta change that typo. I hate typos. And solar flares. Solar flares generally cause a stirring up of our energy. It can cause aggravation and anger and stuff. It can also mess with our electronics and stuff. Eclipses are symbolically when two twin flames come together in union, even if it is short-lived or whatever. See, I wouldn't know. I didn't have that in my dynamic. Some of you guys have that rubber band effect where you come together, go, come together, go. I think that's not actually that bad. In hindsight, I used to think that that would be counterproductive, and maybe it is in some respect, but I really wouldn't know because I've never had that in my dynamic. Creation, beginning, starting over, fundamentals, renew and refresh, back to basics. So going back to the drawing board, everything you've ever learned about TFs, because I learned about stuff back in 2013. That's when I was like, okay, why can't I get over this dude? We didn't even know each other that long. I've never had this problem before where I can't get over somebody. So why is it that I can't move on? It was driving me freaking bonkers because it was uncanny to me. Especially the way that he ended it was he sent me a ridiculous text that was basically like, blah, 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 I'm stupid. So, paraphrasing. So I was like, oh, okay, cool, dude. That should have been like, it was like, at first I was like, oh, gross. Honest. But then some stupidity goes on with these twin flame connections where I would say within 3 days we're like, you know what, I think I'm done. You know, and it's like not like that, but it's more like you take it back. You're like, I still feel this, damn, you know. And it's like unbreakable, and it's very fucking annoying. Sorry, forgot I can't cuss. You guys tell me, do you think cussing is like a dumb thing to limit on YouTube? Because I do. You can't be spiritual and cuss. Okay, you're sure. Sure. Anyways, awareness again. Now, I have a couple decks combined because I changed some things over the course of editing, you know, when I find a typo and stuff. So I changed this one. But, on this one it says awakening past lives, future lives, and then I added mystery school and mediumship abilities. Let me tell you about mystery school. This is a cool little story, poo. Is that in 2013 I went across the country and I stayed in Texas for like a month. Long story. A lot of trauma and BS attributed to that, but it doesn't matter because guess why? I learned about this place that had what they call mystery school. I was thinking, man, I really wish I could like go there. Well, guess what? They're located in Atlanta, Georgia. Guess where I ended up working as a psychic in 2023-ish, I think. I don't know. I don't remember when I worked there exactly, but I stopped working there for reasons. Doesn't matter. I might start working as a psychic again. I don't know, you guys. I'm always on the fence about things. Meditation again, also reversed, second time. Spaceplate, standing out in the spotlight, authentic, unique, connect, socialize, go out of your comfort zone, and leveling up, reversed. So it implies playing too small, you know, as said previously. Mystic is reversed. Believe your intuition. It is what you think it is. Trust your gut feeling. First impression is right. How many times have you guys ever had an intuition about something, but you poo-pooed it because you like overthought it? Especially if somebody told you, maybe another reader, maybe another person who it concerns, told you that whatever you're thinking or whatever isn't true. Or there's a topic, if I told you guys, you would probably be like, no effing way. Why not? We're at 50 minutes in. If you're listening, then you guys want to hear this one. This is crazy. Back in 2015, my TF and I talked in person. We went our separate ways. Months later, I don't know when, maybe it was before, I could tell you guys the time of things, especially 10 years ago, I really don't know. But let's just say it was after. I took an edible that I did not know that I was only supposed to take a portion of. Totally passed out to the point where I went back what we call home. Like, went so deep that my spirit guides had to tell me to breathe again. But this wasn't until I went back. I saw my TF in this place that had density. It was tangible. And he was like frantically doing stuff. Like he was on a computer typing crap. And he was like, what is she doing back? Send her back, you know, that kind of thing. And I was just like, what? He didn't even say hi to me. I was pissed. He looked like him. I was like, I mean, a little different, but him in essence. Like it was unmistakable. It was like, okay, that's him. Like, I know him. That's him. You know what I mean? Like, it was weird. Then later on, I was listening to music in my car because I like to do that. And I listened to a band that he told me that he listens to when he's having a hard time in life or whatever. I'm paraphrasing. And it annoyed me when he told me that because it ruined that band for me. Because now every time I thought of that band, I thought of him. It's like he like maimed it, you know? Well, anyways, sometimes when I'm feeling particularly Six of Cups nostalgic, I would like, you know, purposely decide to allow myself to feel something. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? You probably do. I don't know. Anyways, so what happened is, let's just say for the sake of not sounding like a nutcase, I went really deep into meditation, so much so that I felt like I left my body and was transported into his body. And I looked to my right and there was a bottle of something that was probably whiskey is what it looked like. And I had enough wherewithal to stand up, stumble over to a sink. I was in a bathroom sitting on the floor by a toilet, in between the toilet and a sink. And I went to the sink and I put my hands on the counter and I looked up and I saw his reflection, like it was him in the mirror. And I freaked out. And I went back to my awareness and I felt like he was there, like I was there and he was there too. So it's like we switched. And come to find out, according to my higher self, his higher self, and the futuristic people in the light bodies that want to come off the ships and stuff, they tell me that this is a thing that twin flames can do. Not everybody can. In the future, yes, but we're meant to only do this with one person. It's like we're limited by higher for the purpose of not confusing things. But regardless, yeah, it can be done. And I don't know how many people can do it. I've been told intuitively that MGK and Megan have done it. But I don't know. He's a weird one in my opinion. Like, I don't know if you guys saw the new song he put out, but it's kind of like weird. It's kind of weird. Beside the point, you guys. Who else has done it that I was told? There was one other couple that I think I was told has done it before and could verify, but if so, I don't remember who it was. But it was somebody that was like more well known or something. Anyways. What I don't understand is if somebody can do that and they know it, why wouldn't they, like, if they verify it with each other, I mean, why wouldn't you come out and say that that's a thing? Hypotheticals here. If my TF, who we've been in separation for like 13 years-ish, if he was like, okay, yeah, I'm an idiot, I've been running this whole time and I'm stupid. Oh yeah, I'll admit, by the way, I've been watching her videos. Oh yeah, I'll admit this. All the things that I would call him on. Okay, well, guess what? Do you remember the night in 2015 where we switched and you were like sitting in my car listening to music in my car? Like, did you experience that or not? You know? Because if he says yes, I'm telling you guys, wouldn't that be something? Now you might go, oh, she just found some dude off the street and I got him to admit it. No, man. I'm telling you guys, I have too much integrity for all that. Because if that were the case, I would have just got my soulmate to pretend he was my twin flame, and I would have been like, hey guys, we're twin flames. Don't say there aren't some of those out there that do that, who try to capitalize on the label. So, whatever. All right, we got Luna. You guys, the connection with the Luna, the moon, is pretty cool. The void, aka the source glob of oneness. I'm just kind of throwing some stuff out there again. Okay, repeat, fish out of water. Sweet, I love that one. As said before, glitches. Now here's a good one. This is why I wanted to skip, because I knew there was one coming up that wanted to be really talked about, which is deja vu, lucid dreams, astral projection, unmistakable signs, and telepathic transmissions. Key points are the telepathic transmissions. They talk to you guys a lot, actually. I think they have recorded stuff that they play to you, kind of like when you listen to hypnosis, like pre-recorded hypnosis meditations or something like that. It's kind of like that, and they can play it for you. Other times they actually can talk above your head. They're in a timelessness aspect, so they can talk above your head, meaning they don't know if you're listening or not. They don't care. If they were aware, they would just keep talking anyway. Now sometimes what they say can be scrambled because you're not meant to hear it. That's a whole nother thing. It's done externally. It's not like they scramble their voice. But regardless, deja vu, if you're not having deja vus regularly, that means that there's some realignment that needs to be done. Take note of when you have deja vus and tap in and ask, what does this mean? What is this telling me? Because I'm telling you, there's something to it. All right, cycles, do-overs, second chances, repeat lessons, course correction, and cosmic tests. Do you guys know that if you have deja vu, that tells you, do you know what deja vu means? It means you've lived this life before. And the deja vus you guys are going to start having in the future are because we're coming to singularity, which is that point of which we come out of the amnesia. The veil is what you would say dropped or lifted, dissolved, whatever. It's done individually. It's not done collectively. If so, I think it would be too jarring and people would be like freaking out and panic going to the store and buying all the toilet paper. So due to such, they choose to do awakening on a 1-to-1 scale. So if you're listening to this, highly likely that you are ready to go to the next level. However, staying grounded is key. Nature refresh, salt therapy, spa day, relax and rejuvenate, forest hike, all things to keep you centered in earth. Because I'm telling you guys, you can go way too high in the sky. Been there, done that. I wasn't grounded 10 years ago when I went through this the first time. So took a break, played human again, now I'm back. And I would say ready to do whatever I came here to do. Destiny, karmic lessons, healing is needed for a situation. There's more to go. It needed to be this way. It's for the best. It will happen. Supposedly, you know. Yet the jury is still out on that. Ooh, here's my cheat code card. Cheat codes are something that I'll talk about in the future if you want more information on it. Ooh, destiny again. Okay, so check this out, you guys. Destiny with the cheat codes in between. That's cool. I likey. So, talk about extra emphasis. And didn't we start with spiral upwards? No, but it was definitely, it was the second card. So now we have another repeat that's in the last minute. So I'm going to end it there as far as the cards go. But helping hand being the bottom card energy. Hey, what's up?
I want snugger.
Oh, okay.
I want snugger.
All right. You need help. Okay, give me a minute. I'm finishing this video up. I only have a little bit. Just put it down. It's fine. Anyways, I'm going to end it there in 30 seconds. Truth bombs. Can you, this is my new channel where people don't know me, and you already ruined the last one that I wanted to put on a new channel, and so I deleted it and I started again. Anyways, again, If you guys don't know me yet, my name is Angie. My old channel, New Path Tarot, has a lot of other videos on it, especially my old ones from like 8 and 7 years ago, which are cool. Check it out if you want. Hit me up for a reading. Bye.